weeks so far. We've had 3 really good practices. Tomorrow we'll come out and go at it again, and then head up to Palo Alto. I think we're really excited about this game and the challenge and the opportunity it presents. It's a really good football team we're playing, and watching them on film all week, you don't see weaknesses. They're solid across the board. They're very well coached. They understand how to play the game. They don't beat themselves. So it's a great challenge for us, and I think our guys are really looking forward to it. I know I am. If you're a competitor, this is the kind of game you like. You know, it's going to be hard fought. It's going to be physical. You know, there's a good chance it comes down to the last drive or two, the last possession or two, and that's why you play the game, for games like this. So let's roll it out and see what happens.
You said you have trouble sleeping after night games. You know, what's it like sleeping before a big game like Stanford?
Yeah, I'm okay. I feel like if you do your work during the week, you know, and you're prepared, then you can lay your head on the pillow and get a good night's sleep. And so typically that's where I'm at. After the games, it's just different. Whether it's a morning game, an afternoon game, or a night game, you're just wound up. You know, there's you're always looking back and second guessing things. You're excited about things or kicking yourself about things. So, but before games, I'm usually pretty peaceful.
Any de-stressing activities you got, or you just carry on with your day?
None that are for public knowledge.
Like?
Well, I run. I work out. That's all. But
how do you prepare for a special teams player like Ty Montgomery? I don't know if you guys have seen somebody as dynamic as him yet this year.
Not this year, we haven't. I mean, this kid's special. You know, I mean, he every time he touches the ball, you take a breath and you hold it until he's on the ground, and he's not always on the ground. You know, he's something else. He's got just tremendous vision to find the hole. He's got great speed and burst, and then they do a super job of blocking for him on his returns, you know. But we haven't, to this point, seen anyone like him, and he presents a great challenge. I think it's, especially in the coverage units, it's about, you know, getting off blocks. It's about being disciplined in terms of your play entry, and then you've got to tackle him. You know, he runs through tackles, so it's a great challenge. I'm excited to see how we do against him.
Would you say one of the biggest worries going into this game might be penalties and how it could impact a game that could be this close?
No, I'm not even going to worry about penalties. I'm done worrying about penalties for a little bit here. I stopped worrying about them at halftime, and we only had one in the second half, so I'm just going to carry on with that one.
So as long as you don't worry about them, they won't happen.
Just quit asking me, dang it. No,
So
yeah, it's kind of like, you know, is the monster gone? No, hey, listen, we've had a good week of practice. We haven't had issues during the week, but we never do. Yeah, I think part of it is just being able to handle our emotions out there and stay focused and stay in the moment and not jump off sides and not have false starts. You know, I would say that there's probably going to be a penalty or two. We can't overreact. You know, hopefully they're the aggressive types and they're the types that don't hurt us. They're, you know, I think Stanford's one of the best in the country, and they still average over 5 a game. So, but we've got to play as penalty-free as possible, and, you know, hope that that we can stay focused and minimize them.
When you were trying to come up with some kind of explanation, I mean, I'm going to throw you out one. Is it really that the team's young? I mean, overall, you have a pretty young team.
At times, but I just hate to use that excuse, you know, at times. But I don't want it to be an out, you know. It doesn't matter how young we are. We've got a job to do, and we've got to be focused, and we've got to, you know, we've got to move when the ball moves. And we just got to keep working hard at it. You know, it's one of those things that's hard to address because you don't want it to become a self-fulfilling prophecy where all you do is bang on them about penalties, 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 and then, you know, they're so tight. It's kind of like when you're not getting takeaways on defense and you say, we got to take the ball away, take the ball away, take the ball away, and they get tight. You know, sometimes you just got to back away from it a little bit. So that's been my approach since halftime of the, who did we play last? Cal game. We'll see how it goes.
You're in the back away approach now.
Just for a minute. We'll see how that works. I might have to come up with another approach.
Could change at halftime.
It very well could change after the first play. Who knows?
So you don't know who you're playing next week, and you're having trouble remembering who you played last week?
That's how I like to live my life.
All right.
1 second at a time, Chris. See if I can get through this second without screwing it up.
Now, being an NFL defensive guy and Spanos coming, is this an easier team to maybe scheme against since they're pro style? They're more like straight ahead, smash mouth kind of thing?
I wouldn't say easier,
Or something you're more
more
familiar with?
conventional,
Yeah.
a little bit more conventional, something that, yeah, that we're used to seeing more often. But it's still about execution. You know, it's about guys being in the right spot at the right time. It's about giving them the right call at the right time, and then it's you know, making plays. So, but when you watch them on film, at least for guys like myself and Jeff and Lou, you know, we've seen this a little bit more than we've seen some of the things that you know, teams like Cal or Arizona State or, you know, those other teams we've played do.
Have they gone a little bit more to a little bit more spread element this year?
Yeah, I think that they've got confidence in their quarterback. You know, they've always been a heavy tight end team. They're relying a little bit less on their tight ends, more on their wideouts. They've got good skill players. So you're seeing the ball spread out a little bit more. And this is a really good quarterback we're facing. You know, you want to, or they want to have the ball in his hands because he makes good decisions and he makes good throws.
The great unknown back in spring was your defensive backs. Can you tell us a little bit how they've grown as players? They look like a good unit right now.
They're playing well right now. The key is to keep playing well. They've got confidence right now, and I think the confidence has come through, you know, playing 5 games and playing solid. They've made some mistakes, but they've learned from them, and they really haven't repeated them. They've gelled as a unit. You know, part of being a good secondary is learning how to play together and having a feel for where the other guy's going to be and how he's going to react to a certain route or formation. And a lot of that's nonverbal. It's just a feel thing. And so the experience they've had through 5 games has given them some confidence in each other. So it's good to see, and they've just got to keep progressing.
Is there anything that Utah was able to exploit against Stanford that might have caught you off guard, or you say, that's
No. You know, Utah's a good football team. Stanford's a good football team. It was a game that came down to the last play on the 6-yard line, I believe. It was, you know, going into the Utah game and coming out of this Utah game, we knew what a good football team they were. And that was just a good game. You know, it was 2 really good teams playing good football. I enjoyed watching it, you know, but we didn't learn anything we didn't already know about Stanford. We know Stanford's big, tough, physical, smart, well coached, disciplined, all of those things. So,
You know, after Thomas Duarte kind of had a breakout game for himself this past weekend, you know, how do you see his role growing in the offense, or do you see it growing in?
I think that his role will continue to expand. Thomas is a good player, and we've been bringing him along at kind of a steady pace. You know, this week with Darius Bell, a little bit questionable. You know, he wasn't out here again today, as you guys probably noticed. Don't know what his status is going to be for Saturday. But if he's not able to go, or if he's in a limited role, then Thomas's role will increase even more. But we like him. He's a good player. He's got a big catch radius. He's confident in himself. Brett's confident in him. He doesn't make mistakes. He's a good young football player. I'm glad he's on our team.
Pretty good blocker, Duarte.
Yeah, you know, we don't put him in a lot of situations where he's down attached to the line to the core, attached to the tackle, where he has to block defensive ends or linebackers. But when you get him out in space, just like the rest of our receivers, he'll get his body on people, and he'll allow our runner to get extra yards. All right?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everybody.